Wait. The combat slide was a skill point. That's what I'm saying, bro. They locked systems, full-on actions behind perks. And that are perks that are also locked behind challenges that be done. That is insane, bro. I can't slide for free. I gotta put 4 points into my physical and then purchase the slide and then make the slide better. Like what? Skill points. Man, sadly today we talking about Starfield. As unfortunate as that news is, you know what is equally as unfortunate? You not following me on Twitch and not subbing to my YouTube. So you might as well get on that, man. Twitch the same name, Struggle Gamers, Twitch TV. Your YouTube, you already here. Just go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We about to get into the video. Fight. Starfield has no soul, man. A video that needed to be made for real, cause Starfield really looking booty out here. I can't believe there's a lot of talk. No, not even a lot of talk. There's a nigga on Twitter that I know that said Starfield is the game of the generation. What's good, Sam? He said game of the generation. And that I'm talking the PS5 new and whatever the Xbox called generation, bro. Best game that came out so far. Best game that's gonna come out. That is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Like, even saying Starfield is game of the year is crazy. That nigga said game of the generation. For a game that is doing nothing but existing and looking pretty. And it, like, that's it. It's like, yeah, it's fucking crazy, bro. It's a great game if you've been aborted. It's hilarious. It's how you doing, yo? Like, it's crazy to say this is game of generation when Baldur's Gate exists. But let's get into the video, man. It's a long one. It's 49 minutes, so we probably about to be here an hour or two.
Best part about Starfield is
depends on how many times I pause the game.
All of this just works.
Shout out to Todd telling me lies all my life.
The dogfighting is average. The quest design is antiquated.
I feel like the dogfighting was the best part of the game, and he just called it average. Like, that should tell you something, bro. The best part of the game was mid. And I'm not even a dogfighter. I don't like being in the air, flying around, shooting shit normally. That was the best part of the game.
Exploration is flat. The companions exist.
It's the only difficulty. It was the only challenge.
All Starfield does is it just works. It doesn't do anything beyond that. It doesn't innovate. It almost doesn't even try being fun. And it has absolutely no respect for the player's time. Because for every one thing that works, there's another thing that doesn't. Like, the UI is garbage.
Fucking trash. The map, fucking trash.
On the PC, the UI one is really, really good.
And then you tried to trick me into buying this crap. I told you to get Game Pass. Game Pass is, you could pay this shit for free and see if you like it. I do not purchase this game.
Picking is tedious. Some of the certification requirements are downright stupid. Take shield damage. How is that a challenge? Good question, Todd. I found the crafting to be somewhat worthless, and it's nearly impossible to...
It was so stupid.
Galaxy. Believe me, I tried. I feel like one of the patterns I've noticed...
Wait, how many hours did he have?
Yourself into this galaxy. Believe me.
He had a day and 8 hours, so that's 24, that's 32 hours. I think I'm right. I might not be. He had a couple more hours than me.
I tried. I feel like one of the patterns I've noticed from this entire generation of gaming is the more content a game has, the more bland it is.
Get Odyssey out of here. Odyssey was good.
To be shaved down.
What game was that?
It has, the more bland it is, because all of the...
What game is this? What is this? This is Watch Dogs 3. This Watch Dogs 3.
Game's mechanics need to be shaved
32
down.
Yeah, I thought so.
Depth in order to
Watch Dogs
accommodate
Legion.
all of that
shit was ass.
To ensure that it's playable for each and every
Fallout.
player.
I mean, Far Cry 6 did. That was ass. I give him that too.
To be fair, I really don't hate Starfield, but I don't love it either. It's impossible for me to like something that has no soul. But I was told by several people
Damn,
that the game
can't
doesn't
like
get
gingers,
good until
man.
you've played it for 10 hours. And so, hitting that 10-hour mark became my goal. One of the
Bro,
first
what the
things I
fuck?
noticed
I
is
even
that this
glitched with
game has an
that.
insane amount of loading screens. Fast travel to a quest location, loading screen. Once you get there, you go inside the building where your quest is located, loading
screen.
So what I did to circumvent this was, during a load screen, I played Dungeon Hunter 6. Today's sponsor, from the creators of Dungeon Hunter 1, Dungeon
That
Hunter 2,
sponsor. Gang,
Dungeon Hunter
I
3.
love you to death, but
If you use my link, you'll get to Dungeon
I ain't
Hunter.
download no
Today,
mobile
that
game right
changes.
now.
Into how my in-game characters look, but today that changes. I wanted to truly immerse myself into this game.
You being in her
enjoy it
head.
to its fullest.
Get in that
So I
dome,
spent
boy.
20 minutes crafting the most feared and revered obese bounty hunter in the galaxy, Corvus Dunwich.
I'm here for
He
that.
has heavy thighs but light fingers as he steals everything under his
Love
nose,
you obese bounty
picking and
hunters.
pocketing as he pleases. This actually became one of the most fun parts of Starfield for me.
And I hope y'all know, with this video, it's gonna get real annoying how I compare everything to Baldur's Gate, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just definitely gonna do that. Take the glasses off is crazy. You spend your channel points, how to
Kind of
do
funny
it.
that I could pick the president's pocket.
Oh yeah. See, that's cool. I just stole from the president.
And it made me think how easy it would be to pick Joe Biden's pocket in real life. Wait, what's this? The door here needs a key. Well, this guy right next to it has the key, so let me just
The bar has
from
been
his
set,
pocket.
G.
Now, he's ordinarily the only person in the galaxy that can open this door. But as I open it right in front of him, he doesn't seem to notice. Doesn't seem to care that
All
someone
right,
is
see, all right, let me compare it. Let me make my first comparison. In Baldur's Gate, you could pick locks like this. But if they catch you in the places you wasn't supposed to be, they gonna tell you to get out. Or if it's a spot you really not supposed to be, they gonna instantly try to fight you because you were clearly not supposed to be here. Look at that. He just sitting there on the box,
traipsing through his
chilling.
private property and going through all his belongings because nobody
You're
ever
like, oh,
expects the
it don't
fat
matter.
guy. I stole everything he had, 5 feet from where he sat.
Stupid AI. Stupid game logic. How about that? That's not even AI's fault.
Wasn't
Game
quite
logic.
sure what to do yet, so I figured I'd get started on the main quest line, and this was where I met Sarah.
All right, don't hype up this mid. The C mid, bro. I'm sick and tired of them hyping her up. See, this is mid. This is mid. She's some mid. They hyping up this mid. And they keep hyping up her non-existent butt. Like, bro, what is wrong with people, bro?
My heart skipped a beat as I skipped through her dialogue because I could read her words faster.
You looking
than
at
she
her
could say them.
flat
I
backs,
felt a
like,
bit
look
of
at
a
all them
spark between the
cheeks.
two of
Like,
us.
bro,
In
it
fact,
be
there were literal sparks between us as this display thing turned on.
two
But,
pancakes back there.
goodness, what a
Like, you would think that, like, clearly she's turned in front of us. But if you flipped her around, this would still be the image, bro. This would be the image. Bro. Nah, she not no Watson. She not no low, but no, she's not. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you gotta spend your channel points with me to take them off.
woman. The way she stiffly
They spent their
walked
channel
made
points with me to put
stiff
them
as
on.
well, with nervousness, of course. And you know what? Her smile didn't creep me out as much as the other characters' smiles did. I wanted her to be mine, and I knew I could trick her.
This nigga character is fucking ugly as shit, bro. This nigga character is so ugly as shit. Nigga smack.
Into falling in love with a hottie like me. I knew that I could make her part of my Corvus Dunwich sandwich, and since I was desperately seeking companionship, I made her my companion right there on the spot. And it became my goal. to
What?
fully
Yo, he
advance
played
her,
just like
luring
me.
her
He
into
played
the
naked, bro. I knew I wasn't the only
Just to
person to
guys
take
how
all of my clothes off
meaningful
while
all
I'm
the
playing games.
relationships in this game are. It was
Let's go.
love at first sight with the
W
idea
game.
that I had. I just had no idea what this relationship would end up blossoming into. Love is kind of funny like
Why is she in the bush? Why is he in love with her, bro? 6 hours
When I
in,
was
he
in the
played
city
6
of New
hours so far.
Atlantis here, I stumbled onto a mission board where I snagged 4 quests, and I figured
This
that I'd
quest was
start with
all
these.
boring.
This
Every
turned out to
single
be
one on
quite
the
the
list is
mistake,
boring.
because I'm pretty sure that these were all just procedurally generated quests.
They are.
As they're
They
all
all
incredibly
fucking
bland
suck.
and basic. They had me going to a place and killing a guy. Going
You
to
know what game doesn't have procedurally generated quests, and instead all their quests are pretty interesting and pretty much have something to do with a part of the story that you're in? Baldur's Gate. Oh my God. It's almost like you can fill your map up with stories that, I mean, that quest that means something instead of quests that are fucking garbage, and you literally go through, clear out an area, kill them all, come back, do the same thing over and over, and get copious amount of money. Cause nigga, like, bro, nigga, them ship upgrades was expensive.
Another place and giving something.
I'm not talking.
to
I'm
or
not.
going to a
I'm never
planet
gonna
and fully
stop
scan
talking
it.
about that.
This is where I was tutorialized
Never.
on how to scan things, which is as simple as pointing at an item and
Never
hitting
gonna
the
stop
E
there.
key. So I start scanning stuff. I scammed the same plant thing here like 8 times over.
This was
until
so
a meter
boring. I
filled
thought
up all the
this
way to
mattered.
100%. Then I did an
I
internal
really thought
scan
this
of my
survey
own
and shit
body,
mattered, and
it
I
didn't look
fucking
good.
hated
The
it.
readings came back with terminal amounts of boredom, but I had to get a 100%
Oh God, this is weak.
scan of this planet for the quest, which consisted of me running
Baldur's Gate
around the
3,
joint, scanning
here's good.
8
It's
trees,
amazing.
8
Fuck
flowers,
good.
and 8 of each
Best game to
life
drop
form. So
this
that's 8
generation.
individual
That's
hunter
game of the
crabs,
gen, nigga.
8 of the other
That's
crabs
game
that
of
I
the
don't
gen.
remember the name of, and 8 beetles, which meant I spent about 30
forgot to
minutes
do this.
traipsing
Hold on.
around this lifeless planet just praying to God, aka science, that a little beetle would spawn so that I could scan it and finish this godforsaken quest. I scanned everything I possibly could, and all these meters looked pretty full to me. Everything was green, but somehow I was stuck at 95%. I don't know, guess it must have been a bug. It certainly wasn't a beetle, so I just left. 5 hours
That's
in
a
and
bug.
I've yet to find the fun. But hey, only 5 to go until it starts getting good.
That is such a like, what's it called? What's this called? Stockholm syndrome ass type thing. Like, I feel like the game only got good to certain people 20 hours in because they was feeling Stockholm syndrome, bruh. They started to love their abuser. That is what Starfield is. That nigga that thinks Starfield is game of the generation literally just fell to Stockholm syndrome. It was ass so long that he was like, ass is what's great. I hate having a good time. This is amazing.
To give credit to Bethesda, the scanning mechanic does serve a valuable purpose. Ordinarily, when you land on an undiscovered world,
Yeah, he
the
was too
game's
far
idea of
invested into
exploring
trash,
said
so
world is to run towards
yeah,
a
this is not
landmark
trash,
in a
this is
straight
actually
line.
great.
But what the
No wonder
scanner
I've been
does
doing
is
it for
it gives you something
20
to
hours,
do
right,
on
bro?
your way towards that
20 hours of
landmark,
garbage.
turning that straight
Why would I
line
do it if
into a
it's not this great?
zigzag. Which is probably the
Crackhead.
saddest bit of game design I've ever seen. But honestly, I didn't feel the need to explore any of these planets at all.
There's
because
nothing
every
there.
planet I had been to was practically barren. You see that mountain over there?
And I hate that, like, every time I did go to explore, you have to walk, bruh. You have to walk. Like, you telling me we got these giant spaceships. I get it. All right, we can't fly them around. But nigga, you can't give me a fucking hoverboard or like a jetpack that don't just go up, they go forward. Like, you know what I mean? Can we get some forward momentum? Can we? It be so spaces in between me and whatever I'm looking at trying to get there. I'm walking for 5 minutes straight, boring, doing nothing. Like, dog.
Well, you
Please,
can
a vehicle.
climb it.
Please.
So I did, in order to prove my point.
It is
and after
boring.
fumbling around for 5 minutes, getting stuck on little rocks in the ground, I'd finally made it to the top, where I was treated to a spectacular vista. Wouldn't this just be a gorgeous landscape for an early access game? Nothing here piques my curiosity. Nothing is beckoning to be explored. And it's like that on a majority of the planets. They all look so bland and lifeless. And you visit so many of
Clearly,
these
bro.
gigantic planets that
What's
feel
good?
like they
What's
were
good, Darnell?
procedurally generated rather than handcrafted. And procedural generation is fine in a roguelite or a random game mode, but when one of your game's sole tenets is exploration, procedural generation is a
Nah, this wasn't an
malignancy,
exploration
because who
game.
wants to explore a place
I
that is
really
as
am
flat and drab
seeing that,
looking as
bro.
this?
Like, this
I
was
know
not
for
an
a fact
exploration
that my
game.
efforts of exploration
My
would not
exploration,
be-
yeah, I'm doing it again. When I was playing Baldur's Gate, man, and I explored something, you always found something. Even when I wasn't exploring shit, and I was just being a head case, doing stupid shit, like, I found some shit still. Like, I went in a random house. There was nothing important about this house, bro. I was like, I don't know what's in this house. I don't know what's the importance of this house. I don't know why it's here. So I got bored. I started breaking shit. Bro, I broke a was a little closet thing, and a fucking zombie popped out of there and started talking to me, bro. Like, you would have never known to do that. You can find stuff just by being an idiot in that game. You can't find nothing looking for stuff in this game. Yeah, because it's nothing to find, bro. It's just empty.
properly rewarded. I visited
It's just
a couple
empty
of caves
garbage.
and military bases and found practically nothing. So why bother?
I am. I'm thinking right hard. Keep doing it too.
As I completed random quests,
He 8
I was
hours
able
in.
to
I know my
familiarize
head's in the way.
myself with the combat. And you know what? I actually thought the combat was pretty decent. The guns feel
How?
decent, and there's a
All you gotta do
pretty
is stand
decent
there and
variety
shoot.
of guns to choose from.
You don't have to
Lasers,
duck. You don't.
scopes,
Them lasers
shotguns,
was ass. Don't use them.
pistols, miniguns, and all sorts of stuff. Thanks to that, I was
Combat
able to
was
mess around with
buns.
a bunch of different weapons throughout my playthrough, which kept things feeling
Shotguns
fresh.
was
I love that you have a
terrible.
little boost pack, which
Rifle
allows
was
you some
overpowered.
extra mobility to get above
The-
enemies. It's a nice
the
little
fucking
addition to the
melee
sandbox,
was
and it's pretty
nothing.
fun to use. What isn't fun
Like,
to use is
dog.
the combat slide. This has got to be the absolute worst combat slide I've ever experienced in a video game. When you
Yeah, I
tap
don't
the
know.
crouch button from a full-on
I wonder if he was playing on the hardest
12-mile-per-hour
difficulty or
sprint, all you do
normal.
is slide like 2 feet. It's embarrassing.
shotgun
and
doing way more work than
positively
mine was ever
worthless.
doing.
And mind you, this is an
And I had the
ability
shotgun
required
perks.
to purchase with a
Crazy.
skill point, but it costs
Wait. The combat slide was a skill point. This is what I'm saying, bro. They locked systems, full-on systems, full-on actions behind perks. And that are perks that are also locked behind challenges that be done. That is insane, bro. I can't slide for free. I gotta put 4 points into my physical and then purchase the slide and then make the slide better. Like what?
skill points to even
It's a
unlock
slide.
the ability to unlock this ability. I thought some of the alien designs looked really
That's
cool.
so stupid.
The
You gotta use a
sunflower creatures were
jetpack.
really neat, and these
You gotta
stone
put a point
aliens
into
were kinda
jetpacks to use a
awesome.
jetpack,
They
like,
genuinely
bruh,
surprised me
what?
the first time I saw them. But unfortunately, the aliens aren't very fun to fight. They tend to just run towards you in a straight line.
So
and
weird,
different
man.
species don't seem to have different behaviors, really. They usually just die after taking a handful of shots, and if they end up giving you too much trouble, you can just use your boosters to get up to some high ground, and then they really
That's so
can't do
wild,
anything
bro. What's
to you
good,
at
Pum
all.
Pum?
It's pretty subpar gameplay. The
These
AI
niggas
for
miss
human
most of their
enemies is
shots. They
also
do.
not very good.
Even on ultra hard, they miss most of their shots. You seen I was just standing there.
Sometimes enemies have no idea you
They
exist.
miss. They hit
Their
hard, but they
pathfinding
don't
breaks
hit
and
you.
They can't get to you. Sometimes, despite being in the heat of combat, they'll just be sitting down. At one point, the AI in my brain broke, and I emptied 9 shotgun rounds into the back of Sarah's head, thinking she was the enemy. The combat is fun,
killed
but
her.
I don't see it being fun for 30+ hours of gameplay.
It's not fun. It wasn't fun for that first hour. What is this? This is Starfield. This is Starfield gameplay. This is Starfield, bro. The Bethesda title they've been working so long on, 10+ years or whatever the fuck that's saying. Hours played, how many we got? Irrelevant.
The knowledge you ask for
W
isn't
irrelevant.
evil. No knowledge is. It's we who bend it to evil ends. Oh, you must assure me this will be used to save lives.
I feel like a lot
not
of games
endanger them.
suffer from decisions.
Yeah, you have my word. I'll
Made
make
to
sure
pad
it's
a
used
weak
for good.
story.
Yeah, sure, I'll pick that.
As the chair
Yeah.
of
Look at you, though.
Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this man's
It's way
integrity.
worse than you thought, Jimmy.
He'll keep his word.
Yeah, whatever, lady. You were singing a completely different tune
Like if
about
this
30
game wasn't
seconds
on if this game wasn't on Game Pass, like it's getting a lot of flack. Don't get me wrong. It's getting a lot of flack already. But if everybody had to pay 70 plus, 60 plus for this game, bruh, they would be niggas would be sick. Niggas would be way more, it'll be way more videos out about Starfield than it is now. What's good, Black? What's good with you, love? It'll be way more videos because I feel like a lot of people like just like relaxed on this game because it was free. You know what I mean? But this is
ago when
this
I
is
was
bad.
picking this guy's pockets.
Don't make me an accessory to your crimes.
But I was impressed by the
You gonna
finer
snitch.
details that the environmental team
Full
were
on.
able to put into this game. This was something I was able
Harley.
to appreciate throughout a majority of my
AOW
playtime,
emotes.
actually. Certain
like them
locations
emotes.
had this handcrafted feel to them thanks to small
gas.
additions like this. And this. Then later, I felt like an idiot because I spent about a minute or so flying directly towards
go
the
with it,
planet,
Harley.
fully expecting to be able
We over
to
here recording
actually
for a
fly
YouTube
into its
video.
atmosphere. You can't do that. I
Watching
guess I thought
Starfield
that
shit.
Because No Man's Sky allowed you to physically travel from one planet to the other, that Starfield would be able to do that as well. And No Man's Sky pulled this tech off 8 years ago with a small team of
Like, why couldn't
15
Bethesda do
developers,
this,
and I
bro?
guess Bethesda with their unlimited
They
budget
couldn't
and
do
all
this
the
at
time in the
all.
world, just couldn't make
Even
it
with
happen.
Microsoft
So
on their
instead of
side.
playing the video game and
How long
actually
you think it's
playing
gonna take until a modder lets you do it, bro? Cause I know there's a modder or a group of modders right now working on this mod to let you fly in there. I give them, bro, probably 2 months at most. 2 months most, bro. We have a mod that you can do this. Nigga, I don't even know if we have one yet. There's probably one right now. Out right now. Where you can fly into the planets and go in there, bro. Cause modders are just like, dog. I don't understand what it is with modders just being able to do way better things. I don't get it, bro. I truly don't get it. They need to evaluate the employees. Like, something's gotta shake, bro. I started to realize I don't really like Bethesda games. I mean, me too. I liked Bethesda games. For a long time, I liked them. But they just get like, as I played more and more better games, I feel like I only liked Bethesda games because I didn't know no better. You know, I was a child, I was a kid. One of my first RPGs was damn Skyrim. I didn't know no better. I didn't know there was better RPGs out there. I was literally eating like at like the poor person's McDonald's when it was way better food out there to eat, bro. There was 5-star restaurants around the corner, man. I was just eating that trash McDonald's up, bro.
To a planet, I need to open up my map and navigate through menus to get to it. It doesn't feel like one big cohesive galaxy when everything is separated by a series of loading screens and menu navigation. I was also surprised that you couldn't fly your spaceship within a planet's atmosphere. It's just planted wherever you chose to land it, which is unfortunate.
Oh god, eating soggy fries and smush burgers. That was me playing Skyrim.
Usually just entails you having to, walk in a straight line towards a land.
It allows them to sell overpriced games
but it's also
cheap.
Boring.
What, not hiring modders?
Fly all over
I feel like hiring some of the modders would be cheaper than hiring them industry standard
that you could only kill with your spaceship.
Losers and black ass niggas,
But
man.
hey, you know what? Walking in a straight line is pretty good too. But really, how cool would it be if you could just point your spaceship in the general direction of a planet, activate your light speed, seamlessly warp to that planet, then once you're there, just land wherever you want to with no loading screens and no menus? That would make traversal feel so fluid and seamless, and the universe would feel
Hey,
more
they can't think
believable
that far
and
ahead,
connected.
man.
Whereas now it's so disconnected, clunky,
All we see is
and
rocks
involves
in
you
space.
opening up several menus that are
Yeah, they
unintuitive
UI
and annoying to
is
navigate.
terrible, bro. That shit is terrible.
I'm pretty sure you spend a majority of your playtime in conversation. I mean, these are essentially the game's cutscenes.
Hold on, let me see what he's gonna say. Let me predict. You're probably gonna be mad at the camera angle, because I was too. Every conversation you have, every cut scene you have, straight on, straight face, nothing else. You can only see face. Somebody else talk, you moving over them, face shots. You never see no other angle, bro, other than face shots. And the faces don't look good enough to do that. Like, you know where I'm going. Baldur's Gate faces, if they kept the flat angle, they faces were good enough to do that. But they didn't. They have multiple angles per conversation. Like, the camera was panning. The camera was everywhere, up, down, sideways, underneath, backwards. Look at the cameras everywhere. You didn't have the stale ass conversations, bro. But the niggas look ugly, and you gotta look at them the whole time.
I must have sat through 12 hours of them. You're expected to stare at a static shot of an NPC while they
Look at these faces, bro. Look at this. Look, what are these expressions?
Stare at a static
This
shot
is
of
crazy
an NPC
people
while they
expressions,
go on a
bro.
3-minute monologue
What is
as they
that?
stiffly gesticulate, which gets really boring really quickly. Ordinarily, in a game of this size, like The Witcher, or
Look at
Mass
yeah,
Effect, you'll have
perfect
to get
example.
a shot reversed
Gas.
to keep things engaging. But in Starfield, all you get is shot.
Your timing could be better. I'll just take.
I knew he was gonna say something about them camera angles. I knew it.
You just get this one camera angle. Sometimes,
Yep.
if you're lucky, the camera would jarringly cut to your
It's fucking
companion
terrible.
mid-conversation. This happens with such rarity that it never feels like a smooth cut. And it can be kind of janky. Sometimes she wouldn't even be in the room with us.
Whoa.
See outside. It's crazy. Bro, cutting to the camera outside is insane. Like, bro. That's what I mean. This had to be a cheap and quick to animate only headshot. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. It was like this is some budget game development for sure, bro. Like this the type of shit you expect to see out of an indie dev. If an indie dev had this, I would understand. This is Bethesda and owned by Microsoft. Nigga, you have money poured down your throat every fucking day. How are you still working with indie level? And I'm not, indie level is quite disrespectful to say, considering Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie game. Witcher 3 is an indie game. Like, bruh, Cyberpunk didn't even have cutscene angles. You can move around. You made your own angle, nigga. If I wanted to stand on a desk and look up in the sky while the conversation was happening, I could do that. If I wanted to look straight at a nigga, I could do that. If I wanted to look at my fucking feet, I could do that, bro. Like, you know what I mean? This game just straight to the face, and the face is ugly. I gotta look at it. I gotta stare at the ugly ass nigga talking to me. Like, bro, come on, man.
She's outside downstairs.
It's just crazy,
listening
bro.
in to the conversation.
Or sometimes her character model wouldn't even spawn in all the way.
It should. You risk
Crazy,
though
Sam.
I have had my own personal struggles with the United Colonies. I'm happy for you.
They are the
Sometimes
well. They
she'll
I only gonna
just
say they
stand
ugly
in
people,
front
but the
of whoever I
faces
was
is
talking to,
facial
which is
animation
really
is
rude,
ugly.
but I'll forgive her because she's my girl, you know? So in conversation, you can choose to be good,
So stupid, bro.
snarky, or dismissive.
I felt
But
FOMO
these
because I'm on
choices have
PC.
no
Now I'm
bearing
happy I
on the
didn't waste my
overall
time.
plot or
I'm
the
so happy you
perception
didn't
that
waste
the
your time
NPC you're
either.
talking to
It was
has of
definitely a
you, apart
waste.
from their reactionary line of dialogue
Waste
being slightly
indeed.
different.
You can be more right.
I think we giving Microsoft too much credit when it comes to role they play in the game. You know, I think we got, not even we, I think I got much bigger hopes. I got more hopes. Like if Microsoft buys studio, I'm hoping it's buying it to make the studio better and not just buying it to pump out the same garbage. But I did say this game was too far along to really change from Microsoft's money. So hopefully if they get an expansion or something, we see that Microsoft influence, but it was already like hella in development. I'm sure they was like, yeah, we can't really stop and change this shit. But whatever game Bethesda come out with next, like Elder 6, if it's still just as bad and Microsoft didn't push them to do no better, I don't see why they bought them. I don't see why they bought them. Cause like I said on the podcast last Friday when the deal went through for Microsoft Blizzard, for Activision Blizzard, I was like, is anything gonna change? Is COD gonna get better? I'm like, I don't see COD getting better just because it's under Microsoft wing. I do see maybe Overwatch, World of Warcraft getting better, but COD, I'm like, I don't think they ever gonna change that shit. That model been working forever. Why move it? But I expect to see like better things when you own by a bigger company. You know what I'm saying? Like when Insomniac was purchased by Sony, we've been getting nothing but gas. Nothing but gas from Insomniac, bro. Straight gas. Spider-Man 1 and 2. We about to get Wolverine. Nigga, that company, they did Sunset Overdrive. Like, they was going crazy. And that wasn't even for Sony. But they've been putting out gas, bro. It's not going to be exclusive. Overwatch 2 is never going exclusive.
Over what I'd found.
It's fucking garbage. We're going to see if it get better.
The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found.
So if these choices have no consequences, then
I wanted
how
to
are
keep
they
going
even
on my further
choices to
point, but I'm gonna
begin
leave it
with?
alone.
They give the illusion of freedom where there is none, a false sense of control over the conversation. The one exception to this rule is, of course, the persuasion mechanic, where you can persuade people to do
That was the
things for you
laziest
if you
persuasion
choose the
mechanic
correct
I ever
phrases.
seen.
And as
This was
basic as
butt.
it is, I kind of like this, because it forced me to actually use my brain during conversations rather than just reading through dialogue. But as the
All I
game
want to see in my
continued, I
lifetime is another
realized
rock
that
band.
persuasion mechanic
You was a
purely
rhythm
based
gamer.
on chance, with an invisible percentage meter dictating whether or not each phrase I chose would work.
Villain is
meaning
such
that
a
all I had
piece
to
of
do
shit.
was repeatedly click the green options, since they rarely ever failed. And this game has over 250,000 lines of dialogue, which is just far too many. It's more than enough to spread your writing team pretty thin.
250,000 lines of dialogue. I don't know. I feel like it's okay.
While I was live streaming this game here on my channel, I accidentally meleeed an innocent civilian. I decided to just roll with it and kill as many people as I could until I died. And I
did
had
the
an
same shit. Wow.
absolute blast.
That looks like Todd Howard. Eat it.
Wow, I did the same shit. I actually didn't like it until I was cool with just slaughtering the whole place until I realized like they have so many essential NPCs and they are essential for no reason. I would completely understand why some enemies are essential for the main story. But that's it. That's all I'm giving you. I don't care if they're essential to some other quests. Like if I killed the nigga of the Crimson Raiders, like I don't care, bro. Let me fold my own quest lines if that happens, bro. I feel like only main story people should be unkillable. And that's even if that's just because I feel like you want me to do the main story. Everything else I feel like they should die. Not gonna lie. Like they should be able to die. Or just make them strong. Make them strong. Make them real strong. Like, or like have a not even that. Like make them either you can make them strong. You can make them have like an escape feature. Like if you about to kill somebody that they don't want you to kill in Baldur's Gate, that nigga escapes. He don't fucking get down on his knees and come back alive, bro. Nigga be like, I'll see you next time. Teleport away. Like, bro, stupid shit like that, man. Like, that's way better than the fucking down but not out state and you get back up shooting you again. What's good, VR?
10 hours under my belt, I felt that I had a pretty solid understanding of this game, and I was ready to tackle its meat, the faction quests. So I enlisted with the Vanguard.
The factions, because that's what I was saying. And I feel like niggas in factions should not be immortal, bro.
As somebody on Reddit said,
I hated that.
Moral choices and plot twits. But none of that actually matters, and I'll get into why that is in a little bit.
Like how to YouTube too.
First, I was tasked with bringing multiple factions together in order to defeat a common enemy known as the Terror Morph, the most cleverly named entity in science fiction since Unobtainium.
I heard these are just death claws.
Terror Morphs have been spontaneously appearing on nearby planets and killing settlers. They have the ability to get inside your head and give you auditory hallucinations, which makes people go crazy, morphing their brains to think thoughts of terror. So this girl that's with me here, this is Hadrian.
I like her eyes.
Her dad died in some battle, right? Except he didn't die. The government faked his death and hid him in a swanky prison like he was Hannibal Lecter. And that, ladies and gentlemen,
much like you
is
too,
our
VR.
first plot twits. Now buckle up for the depth. You see, there's these things called heat leeches, and they're relatively harmless, unless they're exposed to a certain pollen, which will cause them to morph into terror morphs.
Yeah.
Now, these heat leeches are all over the galaxy, meaning they can be used as a weapon of sorts if somebody were to emit that pollen in a heat leech dense area. And so this guy Sannon, he apparently microengineered this entire quest line so that you, and most notably his daughter, would walk away from the whole ordeal as heroes, so that he could bring honor to his family name.
Damn, that nigga made the problem just to solve the problem.
Some other guy that he had me kill earlier in the quest. Like I told you, it's pretty interesting stuff. Yet despite how interesting some of it was, its storyline was purely delivered through conversation. And you could have the most interesting story that's ever been written, but when it's told through the mouth of an
Who is this, bro? Look at this girl, bro. Y'all telling me y'all niggas thought they wanted to look at this, bro? They couldn't have had no other angles for no conversation. Who want to look at her, man?
NPC who talks at such a slow pace and leaves these gargantuan pauses in between each.
They all talk like principals.
So that the game can load up the next line of dialogue while the camera remains completely static. It's robbed of all of its emotion, which makes it even harder to stay engaged. And while I was somewhat invested with this quest storyline, there's only so much of this I can take. At the end of the quest, I had the choice to either have the science lab engineer a chemical that would kill all of the heat leeches in the galaxy, or bring an extinct species that leads terrormorphs back into the ecosystem. And I chose the latter, because I thought it would be cool to see these creatures roaming around every once in a while. But it turns out that neither choice has any effect on the overall galaxy for the player. I've been told that they're...
Bro, what? Bro, so the choices don't fucking matter at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. You telling me if I really, bro? So I could kill all the heat leeches in the universe, or send out a thing to eat them, and they still either way is gonna be heat leeches in the universe, bro. Bro, man's just wait. However long this quest line took him, he literally wasted his time. Wasted every little bit of his time, bro.
There is a random encounter where you can find the UC deploying that extinct species onto a planet, but that's about it. Apart from that, everything is exactly the same as it was before you completed this quest. And so,
Bruh.
once again, we've been given the illusion
LRPG,
of choice.
this
But
is
if
the
our
worst
choices have
RPG
no
ever, G.
consequences, then what is the point of giving us a choice in the first place, other than to simply choose our own
That is,
adventure?
yeah, this Starfield garbage. This game fucking sucks. This is the one I did. This is the one that made me cut the game off. I literally finished the Crimson Fleet joint and uninstalled. Immediately, I got the achievement, and that same second I got that achievement, I uninstalled the game. This one pissed me off to no end.
Now this
Pissed
quest
me
line
off,
seemed
bro,
promising.
so many
I was meant to
times.
go undercover and infiltrate the largest
Oh my
criminal
fucking
organization
goodness.
in the galaxy, the Crimson Fleet. I was told by my commander that I would have to make several morally gray decisions as I did so. Sounds pretty cool, but it was a bit tough to get invested.
Should have shot her ass for real.
So first of all, here I am infiltrating an organization of rough and tumble criminals. With
This
a stiff
nigga
British lady
post-processing was
beside me
terrible.
who appears to have been born with a silver spoon so big you'd swear to God it was a ladle. She's clean, she's blonde, doesn't have a single scar on her face, and she's still a virgin. Or at least she better be. She doesn't fit
What the fuck? What did that have to do with anything, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck, nigga?
in with this crowd of criminals at all. Realistically, she would have
Oh,
blown
man.
my cover. But hey, whatever. The quest must go on, right? After gaining their trust by collecting somebody's debt,
Oh, no,
they
dude.
let me in on their little ruse, which was neither little nor a ruse. There are untold amounts of wealth just sitting out there in a spaceship, ripe for the taking.
At least you
Think
made
of
it that
like a
far.
pirate's
I landed on
treasure.
first spot and
Obtaining this
uninstalled
money
it.
would be huge for
I
the
don't blame
Crimson
you, bro.
Fleet. So
Like,
to get
this shit was
clues as to
so
where the
sad.
treasure is
I
located,
really only played it. I only played it so far because, like I said, Bethesda was cool enough to give me a code. So I stuck it out as much as I could, bro. I said I was gonna finish one thing, and I finished it, and it was so ass at the end, I gave up, bro.
we go to an icy cave and pick up a
Shit was
recording which
dookie.
contains those very clues. And those clues led us to a gala.
So mad.
But
Oh, yeah,
not
this
just
mission
any
was
old
so
gala.
fucking
It's
dumb.
the kind of gala with those extra expensive, fancy balloons that you can walk on top of. The type of gala where you can
I ain't
pull
gonna
out your
give it no
gun and
L for
open
that.
fire whenever you please. And no, baby, were these the hottest pockets.
So in this game, you can really, because I ain't never pickpocketed nobody. So you don't gotta stealth. You just gotta crouch and do the pickpocketing. Everybody, they can just all see you, and nobody
I
cares.
ever did pick. But when
Like he did it in front of, bro.
you
He
please,
literally
no, baby, were these
pickpocketed
the
her
hottest
while
pockets I
she
ever
looked
did pick.
at him. I mean, that's a dude.
But
Like,
when it
bruh,
came time to
nobody
actually complete
cared.
the mission,
This
that's
is
when
the
quest
worst
design
type of
started
game,
showing its
bruh.
cracks. It mostly just boiled down to me following a waypoint and interacting with
What's
stuff.
this
So the
Starfield?
first thing I do is talk to the now penniless
worst
party
game
people who
Bethesda-
told
no,
me
not
that
the worst
guy in
game
charge of
Bethesda
the
made.
party has a
It's
mistress.
just
I
ass.
spoke to his mistress, who told me that the guy in charge has a second guy in charge. So I talked to the second guy in charge, and he gave me nothing. So I talked to
AI
the
is
captain of
very
the ship, who
dumb, bro.
says that we
Game
can
logic
cause an
is so
emergency that
dumb.
would make everybody go to their cabins. So I go up and make that happen by simply flipping 3 switches. Then I go and talk to the second guy in charge again, who gives me evidence of the misdeeds of the main guy in charge. And now I can finally go and talk to the main guy in charge and confront him for being corrupt or
And bro, I swear to God, I feel like he about to run into the same problem I did. Is when you try to kill him, it don't matter how you kill him, the whole ship knows. You can be. I was stealthy. Stabbed this man in the head. He died. Nobody seen nothing. He in his room. We in the room. Everybody on lockdown. Nary a noise, not a peep. Or you would have swore the game was muted. And everybody in the whole ship knew I killed him. Which makes no sense.
whatever, which completed the mission. But from there, things got even more tedious.
See if he did it.
It's
No.
time to turn in
Oh no,
that
he ain't do
quest
it.
and
He ain't
get
had the
some
same issue I
juicy
had.
XP. So to do that, I have to fast
Would you ever
travel
blow
all
me
the
a
way
kiss?
back to the Crimson Fleet
There you
ship,
go.
which triggers a loading screen.
And that's
I
gonna
dock
be on
into that
YouTube
ship,
forever,
which
too.
triggers an unskippable cutscene. Once I'm there, I walk through a door, which triggers a loading screen.
I
Then I
got
run
you.
through the entire ship, find the quest NPC, and turn my quest back in with him. But now that that's done, I need to go check in with the good guys to tell them about the mission I just finished.
You
So
better
I
have
fast
called it,
travel
too.
over there, which triggers another loading screen. I dock into their ship, which triggers another unskippable cutscene. On my way to meet with the commander, there is of course an elevator elevator
Oh,
that
God.
triggers
It's
another
gonna be on
loading
YouTube till they
screen.
ban my
Then I
channel.
talk to the commander, who then gives me the next part of the quest that I need to fast travel to, which, of course, triggers another loading screen. And you're required to do this after completing
So many
each of the
loading
5 to
screens.
6
Wow,
missions that this
such a
quest
cool
line
game.
throws at you.
Wow.
The fact that the game is designed this way makes it feel like Bethesda has absolutely no respect
I
for
heard
players' time.
there was
Why
a
can't I
quest that if you
communicate
do
with
it,
these NPCs
makes the
through a
entire
secure line
universe mad
or
at
by
you.
email? Why do I have to talk
Oh.
to everybody in person? This is such poor design. It's sickening.
Oh God, we can't
But
call nobody.
luckily-
W Bethesda, get that shit out of there. Move that shit along. Move that shit along. Get that message out of here. W Bethesda, nigga. No, we need to cut that Bethesda, that W in half. Get rid of the other half. Cut that one little length shorter and turn it a little bit so it say L and then Bethesda. Cause nigga, this shit bad.
Sarah's
Go ahead,
love was
Minty.
the
Appreciate
shot
the
of
alert, yo.
Pepto that I needed
What's
to
good? What's
keep
good?
me
Rico? Raiko? How it is? Is that nigga from Mortal Kombat?
going. Right before the gala, my very
What
own
that say? I thought that said something else.
Right before the gala, my very own gala, Sarah, she opened up to me. She told me that during a battle in some war, her captain died. So she had to step in as captain, and she wound up making some bad decisions that ended up getting some of her crew killed. She even had to listen to some of them
What is in the
scream as their
background right
escape
now?
pod burned up in the atmosphere.
Just Star Wars?
She herself got into an escape pod and was stranded on the planet of Cassiopeia for a couple of years. And she's been blaming herself for those deaths ever since. I'm really pleased that she felt comfortable enough to tell me all that stuff. I don't know, I guess there's just something about me that seems trustworthy or something.
I forgot how
Maybe
you
it's all
look.
those pockets you watched me pick.
Pickpocketing is a crime. Or have you forgotten?
I was touched by her vulnerability.
Why is she so
when I saw that I
she's a
had the option
loser?
to flirt with her by telling her I loved her, I chose it. And I'm glad I did, because about an hour later, Sarah continued our heartfelt conversation. She said that she wanted to resolve her trauma and
Continuing
get
it
closure
an
by
hour
finding her
later is
crewmate's
crazy.
escape pod on Cassiopeia, and she wanted me to go with her. And yeah, sure, it was nothing more than just heartless exposition, but my heart melted nonetheless. Of course I'll go to Cassiopeia with you, baby. Just let me go
I
plunder
ain't never
this
get
treasure
far enough to
first.
romance nobody.
I don't know what to say.
I heard everybody was bisexual though. It was like some dude complained about that everything was bisexual. He was like, I was just chilling with Sean, her name was Sean or some shit. And every 5 seconds he like hitting on him or something like that. Like every character just hits on you, bro. After they start to like you. He was like, bro, I just wanted a dude, bro, relationship. He keeps flirting with me, bro.
The next important mission had me infiltrate some kind of science lab. The security here was
I remember
pretty
this
tight,
lab.
but
I just
put on
killed
a
everybody.
disguise, and nobody in the place seemed to care that I was here. Nobody even bothered.
It's
coming
so
up to me
Sean,
with
it's so
questions.
crazy. I
wound
just said
up
the name
persuading
Sean.
some idiot
And you
into
popped
letting
up.
me
What's good,
fly a
gang?
spaceship out of there, which had some fancy tech that the Crimson Fleet needed. For the mission
I
after that,
literally
I found
killed
myself
everybody
in
in
another
here.
science lab of sorts. Where
That
I
was the most
faced a
boring
dilemma.
shootout I've
I could
ever
either
been
sneak
in.
my way through the place nice and quiet-like, or go in guns blazing. But I actually didn't do
I'm
either.
feeling
of
great,
those.
bro.
Instead, I sprinted through the entire facility.
I'm doing great. W just running. No gun. Oh shit, he's not killing them. Yeah, he's just running. He's speed
grabbed
running.
whatever MacGuffin I needed to grab and talk to whoever I was supposed to talk to.
Oh, it's you.
Bro, what is this game?
How long it would take. If you want the encryption cipher, you're welcome to it.
So the
This
reason I
game
had
is
to
terrible,
go and
bro.
get all this stuff is because the treasure we're looking for is in a spaceship,
is
and that
terrible,
spaceship
bro.
is in an electromagnetic field that destroys everything that goes inside of it, except of course for the spaceship that's already in it. But now that we have our MacGuffins, we can finally go to the ship. Once inside, I killed all of the
Nah, I'm
robots
feeling
that
good though,
defended
Sean. How
me
you
and
living, bro?
extracted
Over here watching this thing on video about Starfield and how it's trash. I ain't gonna lie, he hitting all the points, man. This is supposed to be game of the year. But yeah,
Suddenly
apparently,
the ship starts
bro.
to
This-
buckle under the pressure of the electromagnetic
supposed to be
field.
game of the year,
This old
man.
gal is going down, and we gotta run out of here.
You
to
see how it
survive.
turned
I
up.
was sprinting for my life as pieces of the hull were ripped asunder, allowing dangerous
Game of the year,
radioactive
man,
chemicals
this
to
is
enter the
nowhere
spaceship.
near, bro.
And my fat little
mid
lungs,
game of the
my
year. How
character
about
was
that? Can we
struggling
get that?
to breathe, hacking,
The
coughing, and
most
gasping
mid,
for
the
air as
most
a yellow bar
overhyped
began
game. Can we get
encroaching
that
on
one
my
too?
white bar, meaning I only had seconds left before I perished. Things were getting tense now.
Most
This segment was
overhyped game of
almost
the year.
Genuinely exciting, but to progress, I needed to
It
unlock
wasn't.
this door, and
It was
doing so
fucking
pulled out my
garbage.
digipick and completely shattered all the pacing.
Here's butter.
Kind of like putting
I didn't
a
even
YouTube
start
ad in the
good.
middle of my sentence. Once I escaped the ship, I warped over to the UC crew
this
to
shit
tell
was
them the good
trash.
news. But instead, I found myself in the middle of a massive dogfight, which was
I remember this
also
dogfight.
almost
This was,
acceptable.
I think this was the, is this the big one? Nah, this ain't the big one. But it's either this one or the next dogfight that I found out. If you sit still while you're dogfighting and don't move, you barely get hit. Like the niggas, it's like the AI shoots in front of you or to the side of you more, so you run into the hit. But if you sit still, they miss 90% of their shots.
Exciting. I took down as many of the Crimson Fleet
And that's
as I
how I
could,
won.
while some father and daughter who had become a part
my
of
ship
my
was
crew at some
garbage.
point without my knowledge or
It was like
permission
14
just
ships.
started talking about some nonsense.
The game is horrible, bro.
I like that very much.
I also seen a nigga found out that if you make a ship with no middle, they can't hit you ever. Like niggas just built around the middle of the ship and niggas cannot hit you.
Then I had to play another dogfight, and after winning that one, I had to participate in another one. And after that one, they threw
Oh, I
in a
remember
fourth
this one,
for
yeah,
good
nah.
measure. And this would have been fine
This
if the
shit pissed
dogfighting
me
had
off.
any depth to it, but it doesn't really. It essentially just boils down to getting behind the enemy ship so that you can shoot them, but they can't shoot you. I think the dog fighting is dog water, and they just made me do it 4 times in a row. But afterwards,
They
I was
not
able
done.
to
You gotta
board
do it
the
again.
Crimson Fleet starship, where I
You gotta
killed
protect the key.
everybody. And this actually
Oh, wait,
felt
nah, he
somewhat
doing something
satisfying.
different. He doing a
It's
different
kind of
thing.
impactful to be able to
Yeah, I was on the
kill
Crimson
off
side.
important quest-giving characters. I made my way to Delgado and persuaded him to not kill himself.
Sir, why are you looking at Starfield? Because
And then to finish off my
because
quest,
this video
I
was
returned
cooking
to the
it,
United
and I
Colonies
love it.
spaceship
I love the
as
energy.
A legend who had rid the stars of the largest known criminal organization in the galaxy.
How much
So
you want?
naturally,
I ain't seen this part. I ain't seen this ending. How much you want to bet they barely give him any congrats, bro? Like they not gonna give him no medal, no nothing, no crazy reward. He probably get a gun and like a skill point at the most after doing all that gas. It's just a prediction. It's just a prediction. I don't know this part. I did the Crimson part. He did the UC part.
they gave me a hero's welcome.
See what he get. All right, that was funny.
Like the Vanguard quest, I thought that the Crimson Fleet had some interesting elements to it, and I thought Delgado was a cool character. But it was bogged down again by the stiff
Damn, he ain't even tell us
presentation
about
and
none he
boring
got.
quest design. But with that done and dusted, it's finally time to attend my quest for Sarah.
Finally get some ass. Nah, finally get some ass. I like
So
that.
off we went to Cassiopeia, where much like Tom Hanks, Sarah had been cast away for years. I just wish I could have been your volleyball baby. I went inside the ship she used
Finally
to
get
call
some
home and
ass.
checked her emails to make sure she wasn't talking to any other men. But I also found the signal of her crewmate's escape pod. So I've been here for 2 minutes and I've already done what she failed to do in 2 years. Anyway, we follow the signal,
bruh.
find the shuttle, and when we go inside of it, there's a little girl in there.
Stop. I'll shoot if I have to.
She's the child of the mother and father who were stranded here due to Sarah's incompetence. She spent her entire life on Cassiopeia. I figured her parents would have named her Cassie to honor the beautiful planet which has gifted them with life and shelter. But instead, they named her Sona, after the son of a bitch that got them stranded on this planet. Ultimately, we made the decision to take Sona back home with us, and just like that, we already have our first child. Then we take her back to the lodge where she is to be neglected for the rest of my playthrough. And now, with her demons put behind her, Sarah wanted to meet me under a waterfall. Ooh la la, how romantic.
You think you get some shakes,
We
man?
had quite the heart-to-heart here.
Why does it always like when you look at a person that can be a companion? Why does it constantly list their perks? Like, why? How does it do that? It takes me out every time.
I've tried to make them a part of my life. They tend to drift away
Hope you
and
pets, little.
disappear. It's in my nature to keep people at arm's length. Or worse, push them away.
But I told her to ignore all that I love her now and forever.
Oh, so
Sorry,
cool.
I just need a moment to gather my thoughts.
Then I told her that I'd like to marry her.
Man, Sarah or Carlac, man. Who we going for, man? Lae'zel or Sarah, man? Shadowheart or Sarah, man? Like, bro, Minthara or Sarah, man? Who's picking, bro? What's her name? What's her name? Panam or Sarah, man? Judy or Sarah, man? Like, come on, bro. Who's picking Sarah, bro? Over any of them options I just listed, Sarah was not getting picked. I'm sorry.
She seemed down with it.
I'm sorry, bro. Nobody's picking Sarah, man.
For me.
So I figured that we would go get married right now, but that wasn't available for me yet. It looks like I was gonna have to wait for the final part of this quest to become available to me. And there's no sense in standing around, so I figured I'd get started on another faction quest.
It's a good game. All of them before Sarah, for sure.
This quest
all
was
of them,
boring.
bro.
The mission design was really starting.
Neon was the most. I'm sorry, but Neon, the place, was the most disappointing place I ever been to. Like, they really hyped up Neon. Like, they had the hood. Like, it was some hood shit going on. Like, this is a very dangerous area. They got drugs. Which they did have drugs. I give it that. But they hyped that shit up so crazily for it to be literally nothing. You go to Neon, niggas talking about their families. Like, yeah, you know, you're want to have a birthday party for the little one next week. Like, bro, it's supposed to be dangerous hood territory. And you got fucking blue collars walking around. Like, what? This is not Neon. This is not Neon. This is supposed to Neon. Y'all can't be saying this was the hood and it's normal niggas here, bro. Like, come on,
Go
bro.
grab some coffee. Bring it back to the lady. Go upload a program on a rival corporation's computer. Go tell the lady
It
that
was
you
ass,
uploaded
nigga.
a program on the rival corporation's
You looking at butt-ass
computer.
Starfield.
Go plant some evidence in a chest. Go tell the lady that you planted the evidence in a chest. It was so tedious. And these missions were a constant back and forth of fetching and questing.
What are these
But
missions?
luckily,
Is this
in the
Sarah's
middle of
mission?
it all, just as I was about
What the
to turn in
fuck?
another
Why
quest,
is it, bro?
Sarah
Look at this fucking buggy piece of garbage.
wanted to talk to me. I'll admit I was a little nervous. I could tell by the way she
It's
was standing
crazy,
in that
bro.
corner that this was going to be an important conversation. And it was. Sarah took me up on my offer to get married.
And I've decided I'd like Aja Mamasa to conduct our marriage ceremony.
And now
Y'all
that I was
getting married,
confronted
bro?
with this big
Y'all
commitment,
just-
I
y'all didn't
wasn't
even
sure
get
if I was
together.
ready. I thought back to
Y'all
all the
didn't
times we
smash or
spent
nothing.
together. That one puzzle we solved. Those men and women we killed. That one time I was inside of
He had to hide
Out of
behind the bush.
22 hours I had spent in this game,
Hold on.
she had been with me for 20, which is more than enough time to know if you want to spend the rest of your life with someone.
20
I'm
hours,
ready,
W.
Sarah.
I love you.
I'm gonna complete my corporate espionage, and then we're getting married. I'll admit it was tough to stay focused on this quest line. Perhaps the stress of our
Bro, what
upcoming
are these
wedding was getting to me.
glitches,
Next to
bro?
our love, everything about this quest felt so small and
This game
inconsequential.
is
Couldn't help knowing
atrocious.
that whatever decisions I made wouldn't end up mattering all that
Oh,
much.
atrocious,
The only thing
bro.
that captured my interest was that at one point they installed this device in my head called a neuroamp, which allowed me to control other people's minds and have them do anything I want. But the only thing I want is you, baby. At the end of the quest, these corporate board members
Hey,
wanted
go
to
ahead, G.
sell this mind control device to the public, which sounded like a bad idea. So what I did was I got everybody on board for shelving the use of mind control technology by using mind control technology to convince them to do so. And so, with another quest line in the
Honestly,
books,
that's a W.
I could finally devote myself to marrying this woman.
It's like it really made a storyline
We
about
flew to a
this
nice
butt-ass
tropical
game.
planet. The reception was small. Her mother was the only person that showed up. I wanted to invite all of
Wow.
you guys to the wedding, but there wasn't a dialogue option for that.
Now, are we ready to begin the ceremony?
Actually, not yet. I have a few words that I would like to share first, but I had trouble putting my feelings into just simple words. So what I did was I put them into song and had somebody on Fiverr sing my lyrics.
Oh, yo, he be doing these
Sarah,
joints. It's hilarious.
When we first met, I couldn't help but notice an immediate
It's
click.
hilarious, bro.
Since then,
Thank you for the
there's something
resub,
in my
homie.
pockets that I want you to pick.
Thank you for the
I just
resub,
want you to
G.
know that I love your
thin thighs and your green eyes, that I can use you to store all my supplies. And when I shoot guys, you don't even try to help me, baby. All you do is stand by. You take my breath away.
W song.
Talking around you 'cause you got in my way. But I'll still dock my ship inside your baby. Girl, I
Gas.
love how you
Gas.
suck in corners, and I love how you sometimes walk reverse. I love the way you turn your back to me. And
Fire.
I love how you take all my BBs, baby. It's true. I will marry you. Yes, you. And
How much you think he paid the nigga on Fiverr to do this? It's had to be like a $40 song.
I happily pronounce you
W.
mates. Congratulations.
Aja.
This is what I mean. Is this why Starfield is Dookie? This is one of the many reasons
Oh,
here.
amazing.
I'm glad everything worked out for you, sir.
W
Just
Fiverr
like I
song.
promised, we'll have our consummation on Cassiopeia,
Oh, that was
the planet
gas.
where you were stranded all those years. And this is where I'll leave you. But while you're here on Cassiopeia, girl, I just hope you keep on loving me. Goodbye, Sarah.
That was terrible. I just hope he'll keep on. Bro, there's way more still to this video, bro. What the fuck? Bro, there's like an extra 13 minutes. That seems like the end. Oh, man. Now we really do be playing the game naked, bro. That's
Things
crazy.
felt a little empty without Sarah by my side, but all I had left to do was one more faction quest and the main story. The final quest had to do with the Freestar Collective, which looked like some Wild West space cowboy stuff, and that sounded pretty cool.
There's
But
glitches.
so
There's
did the
same
last
glitches in
3
every
faction
Bethesda
quests
game.
I did.
Exactly. They
I
don't
was
learn.
determined to get through all of that content for this video, but playing this quest through the lens of regular old Rennsreviews wasn't going to cut it for me. I needed to shift my perspective, so I came up with a solution. If I were to keep my sanity while playing through this quest, I'd need to actually roleplay in this role-playing game.
Oh, no.
So I completely engrossed myself
Good luck,
in the
G.
character of a Louisiana space cowboy, and that did make this quest palatable for me. And by me, I mean Corbus Dunwich, Deputy of the Stars.
Is it more appealing than Skyrim?
Now, I ain't
That's. Would I rather play vanilla Skyrim or would I rather play vanilla Starfield? Oh, now that's a hell of a question, and that's sad. I feel like that's sad that's a hell of a question. Would I rather play a game that is 13 years old or play the game they just released? Because the quality's about the same. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. I ain't played vanilla Skyrim in a long time, bro. And I hated it when I played it. When I played vanilla Skyrim. That's sick. This is a sick question. I'm gonna play Skyrim, bro. I'm gonna play Skyrim, bro. Vanilla, yeah. Vanilla Skyrim, man. YouTube, you gotta answer that question down in the comments. What would you play, vanilla Skyrim or vanilla Starfield?
no fancy schmancy video game developer, but I have played me a hefty plethora of video games, and I know bad
nigga's
quest
in there.
design when I sees it, especially when I've been seeing
I
it
could
for
proudly say that I
40+
haven't
hours.
touched one
So
Bethesda
for the first
game.
part of this quest,
W
some
mans.
gal at a farm was being attacked by bad folk. So I
W
went on
man.
down to a crevice, twixt the rocks and boulders, tracking
Bro,
footsteps
the
by hitting
accent is
key,
killing me.
killing any old space critter that I saw along the way to earn what you gaming folk refer to as experience points. And when I found them bad fellers near that creek, I took
Bro, Divine, that's one of the main reasons I deleted it, bro. I ended that story quest and it was just over. Ended abruptly. What did I get? A stupid gun. A gun. Nothing progressed. Nothing happened. Nothing changed. Like, it was all garbage.
To filling up a progress bar in order to level up. See, he never played no video.
Did that
games
whole
on
quest
account
for a
of being
butt ass gun. No, it was not a W gun. My gun I was using was better and it was lower level. It was a garbage ass legendary trash. The legendary guns in this game are trash.
Met a feller goes by the name of Ronald Hope. says somebody stole his
Deleted that shit on the spot.
My gut tells me this guy's behind.
Sound
the
like your
entire
neighbor. It's
quest,
crazy.
that he set up everything. A safe guess, though, seeing as how each and every quest has had at least one plot twist. So I figure out who done the theft.
keep going to this
talking to
Reddit
some
post.
folks, and I confront the gal who stole his space horse. And when I do, she tells me to go somewhere else to see someone else, just like everyone else I ever done quested with. And so I do just that. My travels.
But there's the formula,
led me to
101.
a place called the Red Mile. It's a space castle.
But there's the formula.
Machines like slots, China's checkers, America's checkers, blackjack, and chess.
Why? Why did he beep black? Is it because he sound like that? That it was gonna sound racist? Why did he bleep do it? That is crazy. That is insane. This man is crazy. No, that was sick.
Checkers, America's checkers.
Oh, that was
blackjack,
sick.
And chess. But much like Fallout 76,
Oh my
these
goodness,
machines
bro.
are unplayable, which shocked the grits right out of my belt buckle. Because you could play them gambling games in New Vegas. But I suppose now the games have gotten so darn fancy, you'd have to be more foolish than a horse in heat to expect such a player-friendly feature in an AAA video game now, wouldn't you? So I'm told that to progress in this here
You
quest,
can play the
that I
games in
got
New
to
Vegas,
run
but not
the
in
Red
here.
Mile, which simply consists of killing several critters' environments, hitting a button, and running all the way back to where you started. Hardly was a challenge, and I found that if I used my
He's using the same gun that I used, by the way. Like this gun is like it's like the most basic gun, ballistic gun. It is quite literally the best gun that I picked up. I had legendaries, I had epics and all that shit. This gun basic as shit. It's the one gun you're gonna keep ammo with because it's just one tap, and it just does work, bro. It's so stupid. It's boring. It's boring as shit.
Do nothing to
The
me.
basic
I didn't have
gun
no fun.
doing all this
I'd
work.
rather watch the Green Mile than have to run another red one. So then I go on over to another planet, kill some more people, and hey, look at that. She's got Tombstone on her. That there's one of my favorite movies. At the end of this mission, I get to a guy who tells me that Ron Hope was behind the farmer threateners all along. Well, who'd have thunk that?
Ron Hope. But he's on the Council of Governors.
The way they just switched the camera was so ugly,
So
bro.
I confront Ron Hope and end up sending him straight to heaven. Then I go to the marshal and tell him what I just got done telling all of y'all. As a result of my heroism,
He
they
really is.
officially made me a
He really
Ranger
is
of the
role
Collective,
playing heavy.
Gave me a nice
This
shot
man is
badge,
loving his.
a new space horse, and a gun. To celebrate my new status symbol, I thought it'd be mighty funny to start shooting at these people. So I did.
Nigga did the main
All I
quest
had to do
last.
now was finish up the game's
W.
story. So I was making my way through it as quickly as possible, doing the most basic missions you could think of, like saving other members of the Constellation and picking up some ancient alien artifacts that are the
Here you
keys
go,
to
you get your
opening up the
superpowers,
multiverse.
man. You get your
One of these
butt-ass
missions, you go
powers,
into a
man.
temple with no gravity in it, and you float around collecting these little clusters that spawn. I guess it was kind of neat. I mean, zero gravity is always fun. But then as I was floating around here, I couldn't help but wonder why this game doesn't have dedicated zero gravity combat sections or platforming.
Oh, that's too much for them,
It would
man.
be so cool to have gun battles with no
It's too much for them,
gravity,
man. What's this? This Advanced Warfare?
or platforming segments.
What is this?
Even. Would be so.
Is this AW, right? This Call of Duty. Call of Duty. From like 10 years ago. When did Advanced Warfare come out, bro? This is insane. That gotta be AW. Advanced Warfare. That's 2014, bro. Niggas had zero gravity fights in there, bro. We couldn't have none in Starfield, bro. Oh my god. It is AW. Butt ass looking game. I
Cool to
tell
have
that
gun
butt ass
battles
game
with no
anywhere.
gravity, but Bethesda decided not to do that.
I actually liked
Having
AW,
all of the
even though it was
mechanics
shitty.
put in place for them to do so. And then for the ultimate slap in the face, at the end of this mission, I unlocked my first
last good
power.
COD made,
This
that is
made
a
me feel
crazy
like
take.
absolute trash.
That is a
because
crazy
here I've spent
take.
25 hours
Crazy
going through a majority
take.
of the game's more substantial content
That game
while
was
having
ass.
no idea that there were
It just was
powers I could have
fun.
been using this entire time to
It was
make things
fun
more
as.
interesting.
It wasn't
just feel
shitty
like I
as
missed out on so much now.
this game is shitty as.
Legitimately upsetting to me.
Look at this dumb shit. Here you got a whole bunch of bounties.
Of course, I go to another temple to unlock another power which just makes the air around me safer to breathe. So I went through all these hoops and loading screens to get myself a glorified air purifier. I really don't see any use for this at all. Usually I'd just let my character inhale all the toxins and yeah, sure, he gets lung damage, but he eventually coughs it all out. If not, I'll just use one of the several inhalers I've pickpocketed to cure it right there on the spot.
I never buy Call of Duty, another Call of Duty.
Like this, then maybe I haven't been missing out on anything at all.
You got to buy this new one coming up. The movement's great.
Grabbing
You
more
must.
artifacts and unlocking more powers.
You must.
Things started getting rough for me, and I began to mentally crumble. I really couldn't stomach any more Starfield. I felt that I had already experienced the best of what this game had to offer, and
it was
would all be
submit.
downhill from here. I was right. But here's
Experience
something that's
submit,
kinda
and
weird.
it was the
really
best
shouldn't
they
work
had.
in this game's favor, but it kind of does. While I didn't have fun playing this game, I had an absolute blast making
The only
the
thing
game. I found
good
myself
about
actively wanting to play
Advanced Warfare is when you
Starfield
can
so that I
shoot
could
niggas
get
with
more
your hands.
footage, which in turn
That was
would equate to
fire,
more
bro.
content
I
in the
enjoyed.
video. So
I
found a lot of
enjoyed.
enjoyment in that. And in trying to turn
I
this
enjoyed
game into what is
AW,
hopefully
but I can
a
admit that that game
potentially
was
even
terrible.
an entertaining video.
I definitely
It's always
enjoyed
been
it,
my
though.
goal with this channel. I don't care if you agree.
That's how I
or
am with
disagree
Injustice.
whatever I have to say.
Injustice
Creating
as
something
a fighting game
entertaining
is
was
trash.
all I ever wanted to
But
do.
I definitely
so if I need to play a bad game to make that happen, then so be it.
Definitely
But you know
enjoyed
what?
playing it. It's
Despite how
fun.
much I didn't like the game, there is a special feeling in just carving out a few afternoons to dedicate
The combat
your life
terrible and
to
boring.
a game like this.
I laughed at that
Reminded
for
me
way
of
too
when I was a
long.
kid and I had just gotten Morrowind for the first time. Playing through that and discovering
Is this the real one or is it a
everything
knockoff?
had to
What you
offer.
talking about?
And I did get some of that from this game. Every once in a while, there was a glimmer of that old classic Bethesda magic, but it was buried under pounds and pounds of jank. And if I didn't have this channel, I probably would have stopped playing Starfield after like 4 hours, and I
Basically,
never
that
would have
nigga
looked
said,
back.
I did this
But
for the
now I
content. He was
so
Big Mike in it.
close to finishing this game.
He Big Mike it, bro. For the content.
I slogged.
Oh
through
no, this
quests that had me doing
I'm not
nothing
playing
more
it.
than
I'm watching
picking
a video
artifacts
about
and
it.
collecting star clusters and temples to gain powers. Powers that I would never use, like having the ability to see star stuff. For the last power I collected, I
What
didn't
is
even
star
check the menu
stuff?
after I unlocked it to see what
What
it
is
did.
that?
That's when I knew it was time to move on. One of the final missions was kind of neat, though. It had me hopping in between dimensions to make
So
my
he
way
actually
through
beat
this
it.
laboratory and turn off an experiment that had gone wrong. It made me think a little bit for once. But then after that, for the final mission, I was just forced to
Yeah, I
fight a
gave
bunch
up on
of
it
bad
too, G.
guys in
Shit
what
was
felt
dumb.
like 6 or 7 separate 4-minute-long combat encounters. And when I got to the final boss, instead of outright fighting him, I persuaded him, which saved me from having to do another 4 minutes of combat. So now I had every single artifact. All I had to do was assemble them in my ship and fire up my grav drives to activate them and complete the game. So I took the reins of my captain's chair. They call it a space bar because it takes you out to space. And then my game crashed and sent me to my desktop. So I went back in, held that space bar.
Nah. That would have been the straw. That would have been the straw, bruh. That would have been the straw to break the camel's back. I would have uninstalled again so quick, bruh. The uninstall would have been so fast, bruh. He's a trooper. He's more than a trooper, man. There's no possible way. Nah. I would have been uninstalled that jank. He way better than me, bruh.
To go to space, fired up my grav drives, and whoa, this room actually looks pretty awesome. We're at the center of the multiverse, kind of like the Flash from the
No,
film
bro,
The
I was like,
Flash.
this
This
man's
is
ugly.
the first location in all of Starfield that has genuinely captivated me. And speaking
Wow,
of
it
me,
took this long.
that's me.
You made it. I hope you're enjoying the view.
What was that? Is that my tadpole? Oh shit, that's Gojo's superpower. I mean, that's Gojo's curse technique or whatever the fuck it's called.
At this point, I could either choose to go into the center of the universe in order to ascend and become a member of the Starborn, or walk away and return to regular life. A classic red pill, blue pill situation.
I'm
I
going to
chose
be a
to walk into
Starborn.
the center. It was over. My relief was boundless. After 32 hours, I was finally done with this game. The fact that there's like 30 or maybe even 50 more hours of content in Starfield is baffling to me.
That shit
more than
boring as
overstayed
hell.
its welcome with the 32 I put into it.
Exactly. I was just about to say, like, 50 extra hours of boring is way worse than the 32 you put in, bro. I promise you.
There's simply just not enough depth in any of this game's
That shit
playstyles to
weak.
remain engaging for such a long time. They're all too broad and shallow. The persuasion mechanic is a mere game of chance. The combat is nothing more than just mindless shooting and basic movement. The currency...
And it ain't even fun, mindless shooting. Like, good game, good combat with that is also mindless shooting. Just Cause. Just Cause is nothing but senseless violence. But that senseless violence is so fun. It's so fun. What else? Black Desert Online. Senseless violence. You don't really need no strat. Just a couple combos here and there. You can button mash them. So fun. Another one. Nah, I ain't gonna get that. I ain't gonna say that's senseless. You actually need some strat for that. Bro, it's just a whole bunch of other games that are fun, senseless ass violence, bro. Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor is senseless violence. You don't really need a strat. Just counter, hit, execute. That's the majority of fights. Like, you know what I mean? Senseless violence made fun. Starfield, senseless violence, boring. You sit in the same spot, aim, one tap nigga's head off, and it's done.
Pointless. I never needed to buy anything because the game just gave me every single item I would ever need through quests. The quest design
I did two and it was
boring as
done.
ever,
Or
and
two
there are
fights?
hundreds
Or
of
2 hours.
quests
2
to
hours. 2 hours.
complete. Planet
that shit
scanning
dead.
is insanely tedious, and I would argue that this isn't even content but busy work. Yet there's over 1,600 planets that you can scan. While that might be fun for a small handful of people, a majority of players are going to end up ignoring that mechanic. 1,600 planets is far too many, and it's just impossible to make that much content feel fun.
I feel like I
and
only
fresh all the
seen
way
like
through.
fucking
Bigger
30.
is not better.
They
It's
all look the
impressive,
same
I'll give 'em
anyway.
that, but quality is always more important than quantity when it comes to video games. I mean, seriously, just imagine if they had given the same exact amount of time and resources to a smaller game with 50 planets or even 25 planets. Todd Howard decided to
I'd be
become
cool
a
with
God
50.
Howard and created an entire universe, which again is impressive in its own right. But these days, video games struggle to maintain a good level of
I got
fun
this. I
and
need to play this.
engagement when all they contain is, say, the
Let me play
city
this.
of Tokyo,
This looks so
for
cool.
example, or the city of London, or a tropical island, let alone an entire galaxy. Sure, we can craft amazing linear campaigns and, at rare times, believable and entertaining
I need to finish
dynamic
this
open
too.
worlds.
Out of the damn way!
Goddamn, are you crazy?
The fact is, video games are still evolving. They still
I
have
can't
a
wait
long
for the
way to
next
go, and
Rockstar
think
game,
that
man. I
both
cannot wait till
developers
GTA.
and publishers are pushing games and the people who make them beyond their limits. We've
Probably
come
gonna have
so
to upgrade
far
my
over
PC
the
for that
past
shit,
30
though.
years, but I think that we're at least 2 or 3 console generations away from being able to create a fun, believable, and genuinely dynamic galaxy of this size. Bethesda tried to innovate by creating something massive, but true innovation...
I mean, in a form, I mean, in a way, they did innovate, but it's not. They didn't innovate like in anywhere in the gameplay section. They innovated in scope of a video game. That's where they innovated at. Nothing else. The RPG shit was ass. The combat was ass. Everything else was pretty ass. Like just the scope. They innovated in the scope size of a video game.
Comes from depth and fun, not just sheer size. A video game should always
That's
leave
the
you
only
wanting
innovation
more,
they got is
not
size.
wishing for less. The only thing I had left to do now was go back
Yeah, I
to
can't wait
Sarah.
till GTA 6. This nigga obsession with Sarah is crazy.
She was happy to see me. And you know what? I was happy to see her too. I guess I could maybe settle down with her for real this time. We could hang out here on Cassiopeia for all eternity. Or at least until she gets uninstalled. And of course, I've
I'm so happy.
got to thank
so
all my
happy to see that.
patrons, for without
Yes, sir.
them, videos like this wouldn't
Yes,
be
sir.
possible. I'm able to
Yes,
take my
sir.
money and use it on editing software and songs and
Yes,
props
sir.
and costumes and all sorts of cool
W
stuff. Thanks
uninstall,
again, guys.
man.
Remember to keep your companions close,
This was
everybody.
this was
This is
honestly
Rennsreviews, signing off.
it's honestly a very great video. Ren did his thing with that one, bro. I'm already subbed, already liked it. Yeah, Ren was on his shit. I like this man's channel in general. He cool peoples, bro.